Hey there, comic book friends. I'm Travis. This is not Phil special. This is a congratulations video to Teebird, as she's currently being known on YouTube. 150 subscribers. I'm sure by the time I'm doing my video, you're probably scratching at 200. If not, that's a huge mistake. Anybody who subscribes to me, you need to go check out Teebird. Great YouTuber, very articulate and observant comic book reader. She'll tell you that she's new to reading comic books, or at least mainstream comic books, but she is, regardless of that, a very observant reader, and it's definitely an enjoyment to have her here and have her talking comic books. I knew that I was going to love her channel. The first video that I saw was her just kind of going over her comic books, her graphic novel collection. And of course, while she's talking comics, I can see the shelf either below or above, I can't remember which it was, and it's loaded with poetry books. And anybody who watches my channel for a great length of time knows that I like poetry, so of course I'm all over talking poetry, which I got to talk poetry for a while. So that's pretty awesome to find another comic book enthusiast who's also heavily into poetry is quite awesome for me personally. I also have a really great time talking with T on Twitter. Have a great time just shooting the breeze about whatever ridiculous thing comes up. She's just a lot of fun, and like I said, really happy that she's doing the videos, and even with just the haul, you get a sense of who she is by what she's picking up. She's kind of right now seems a little more focused on, I want to get this run of this and I want to get the run of that. When she first started doing videos, she was just kind of picking up whatever it seemed like. So you got a sense of who she was and just the kind of random things she picked up, what covers she liked. We both like Western type stuff too, so that's awesome. Also, some of the other stuff that she's picked up along the way, and it's like I said, been really cool to listen to her. She's done some, talking about some of the books, and like I said, very articulate, very observant about what goes on in it. I think that whereas our tastes aren't exactly the same, we have a lot of tastes that are alike in some sense, dig a lot of the same stuff. So that's really cool. Makes it awesome. So with that said, she has this contest, and like most contests, for me, it's not so much the winning as it is the camaraderie of support and that's what matters to me. So her contest, and now it occurs to me, now that I'm talking, I neglected to pull out some of the stuff that I needed to pull out. So I should have been looking for that while I was talking. So anyway, T asked some questions. They're the basics questions that a lot of people get thrown out there and whatnot, but she kind of wanted them again if you were interested in putting it out there, so she get to know you a little more, and because she doesn't want to go back the 3 years of the videos that some of us have to go looking to see what it was our favorite or whatever. Of course, everything changes all the time too. One of the questions that she asked is, what's your favorite, how about that? I don't even have it here. Oh, dang it. What's your favorite, sorry, get distracted, favorite writer or writers, because there's no way, I can't name one. In some cases, it's favorite books more so than it's favorite writers. I am a really big Warren Ellis fan. I think he has done some incredible works over the years. Excited to see him back in comics. He kind of took a break from comics, which, whatever. In my personal opinion, I think it's probably a good thing. It feels like he's back with some voice, with some stories to tell. For a while there, it kind of felt like maybe he wasn't. Or my problem was I was following Warren Ellis too closely on other social media things, and so everything was already talked about. So by the time I hit a comic book, I'd already kind of had a sense of what he was trying to say. But Transmetropolitan, which of course T, is an incredible book. That will be a title I would always say, oh man, that's something to to get and whatnot. That's some pretty pivotal work. If you haven't read Planetary, I absolutely love Planetary. Another absolutely great piece of work that's out there. To check out. Greg Rucka, I'm a huge Greg Rucka fan. I really like most of his stuff up until I read Veil, which is a kind of a horror book that he did for recently for Dark Horse. I would have told you Greg Rucka could do no wrong. Amazing run of him on Detective Comics using Batwoman with one of my absolute favorite artists, J.H. Williams III. But let's see what other writers. I like Grant Morrison. I think he's great. Alan Moore is another incredibly strong writer. I mean, his personal attitude sometimes ticks me off. I get tired of that. But I think he writes, he's written some incredible stuff also, clearly. There are some more modern writers that I like. I don't know that I would say they're my favorite writers. I like stuff that's written by them. They don't have enough breadth of work for me to establish, okay, I just really like what this person writes and whatnot. Hard for me to pick writers. I like stories. Artists, of course, J.H. Williams III. Pretty much in the last 10 years, anything he touches, as far as I'm concerned, is gold. As me and you have talked, Mobius is incredible. The man is a complete genius, a complete storyteller, amazing just in a million different ways. I like John J. Mullith. Doesn't do much in the way of comic books. I have no idea when the last time he did comic book work. The mid-'80s is the last time I remember seeing him do comic book work. He would do some incredible graphic novels. Did the artwork for things like let's see. Moonshadow. Here's a collected edition. I have the singles too. Or like this is a kid, written by J.M. DeMatteis. But he's a painter, and this is back during the time. I don't know how we can see that. This is back when you actually really had to honestly paint the pages. You couldn't do it digitally because digital didn't exist at the time. He just does some wonderful watercolor, paintings and whatnot. I really like his work, and I got a bunch of books by him. But excuse me while I'm off camera, putting things away. I'm gonna get a little, if I want to get a little bit nerdy or whatever, I really like Dave Stewart on colors. Anything Dave Stewart colors makes it a million times better. I don't know, in the last 10 years, I think he's won 7 Eisners for coloring, I think. And he colors based on the projects that he's on. I mean, he truly doesn't have his style. He has a style for every artist that he works for. All the work he does for Dark Horse is in a certain style because he does a lot of the work that has to do with the whole Hellboy universe, and so he has a tone that he's developed that he just uses across the board for their stuff, which beautifully for that. He colors J.H. Williams III stuff, and depending on what it is that J.H. Williams is doing, depends on how he colors that. The guy is just an incredible colorist. One of my favorite inkers. He's also an artist in his own right too. I mean, he does a little bit of both. Over the years, Bill Sekowitz is incredible. He had a run of covers and stuff like that from New Mutants in the middle to late 80s that was incredible. I have a Daredevil book that he does the paintings in that I actually have signed by Sekowitz. That's just amazing work also as far as art goes. The Brazilian twins, Gabriel Bra and Fabio Moon, I've learned to really love their stuff. Wasn't really familiar with much of their work at all until a book came along called Casanova, written by Matt Fraction, another action title that I absolutely love. Came out from Image. It was actually a dollar comic when it first came out. This is before the Image blew up like it is now. They really couldn't make a living off the book. They basically sold it for nothing. Reprinted it and added some colors to it in the through the Icon imprint, and now here very soon it's going to be new issues are going to be produced through Image again. So I'm excited by that. I love that book, Casanova. Here's the originals. This is the original Image book, and was all 3 colors. 3 colors is the whole thing through it, and that was it. Absolutely loved it. Love the style of it. It's basically it's a Philip K. Dickian super spy book that plays around with a lot of meta stuff, heavily musically influenced by everything from the Beatles to David Bowie to whatever. I think there are entire issues that are written around soundtracks. If you're savvy enough to figure it out, you can figure out which issues those are and stuff. Just really, really, really cool stuff. It was. I think that it's. I think that's where Matt Fraction should be at. I don't know that a lot of his superhero stuff is really strong, but some of his independent stuff is pretty amazing. He has a voice, and the Casanova stuff has been pretty incredible. So I'm really excited about that as far as titles go. I know I'm missing people. I always can think of people after I'm done talking about this as far as artists and creators and that sort of thing that I really like. I'm looking around because somewhere I have stuff. I'm hoping not to have to splice this video together. So another thing you asked for, just kind of whatever you get to know us, is 80s movies. Now, when you said 80s movies, I wondered, okay, does she just mean movies that came out in the 80s, or does she mean the genre of 80s movies? Because I always kind of figure there's a genre of 80s movies, the Brat Pack and those kinds of movies and all that stuff. I mean, but of course, I was old enough to watch most movies and things like that through the 80s. So, 80s movies that I like that aren't necessarily under the 80 movies category, if that's what you're asking for. Time Bandits. Absolutely love Time Bandits. That movie just amuses me to no end. Getting ready very soon to sit down with my kids to watch it for the first time. It's been quite a while since I've seen it, so I'm excited about that. Blade Runner is one of my all-time favorite movies. I cannot even begin to tell you how many times I have seen that movie. Probably the original version that was put out, the one I've seen the most. I have a bunch of director's cuts also, but that version of the movie, I probably can turn the sound off and do the entire dialogue all the way through. I love that movie. Akira came out in the 80s, another awesome movie. I'm going to cheat a little bit. All That Jazz actually came out at the very end of 1979. I didn't see it until in the 80s. I love that movie, All That Jazz. I love where the main character, who's basically playing a version of Bob Fosse, is, he's dying. And he's like having a stroke or something, and just how he hallucinates and the craziness that's there and whatnot. Absolutely love that movie. Let's see, as far as the 80s type thing, besides the stuff that everybody else names off, that everybody loves, the Goonies and those sorts of movies of the 80s. As far as what I consider to be the 80s genre, I really like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Was I Ferris Bueller? No, I was never savvy enough to be able to get away with the crap that he got away with. Would I've liked to have been Ferris Bueller? Yeah, but more than likely, I would have been the friend that's with Ferris Bueller, whose Ferrari, they try setting the clock, setting the odometer back on, and ends up going out the back window or whatever. That would be me through high school probably. But yeah, so there is that. Now I am actually going to splice in a piece of video here because I neglected to get the thing that I wanted, because the other thing is the grand prize of this whole thing is of course, T's other half, or partner, is this amazing artist who seems to be able to replicate photographs perfectly, which is pretty awesome talent, gorgeous work. So the other part of this was to say what we would want to have done, and of course I've been battling a whole bunch of stuff, and so I'll be right back with my what I want done. Okay, I'm back, and I couldn't find the cover right offhand that I wanted, so over here somewhere there should be an image of what I want. So this is a variant cover of Coffin Hill #1. I want that background, but I'll provide you with a picture of me instead of Miss Eve Coffin here. So yeah, I want this, but I want me instead, because I'm narcissistic and I want it to all be about me. So yeah, I'll provide you a picture to paste in the place of her, and I think that'd be pretty cool. Anyway, it's been great getting to know you over the last month or so, and hope to get to watch lots more videos and chat with you. And a personal goal of mine is to at some point twist your arm and get you to come and do a Google Hangout with us, come on the round table, and talk comic books with us sometime. That would be really awesome. So I hope sometime you take me up on the invite, and I'm sure I'll chat with you on Twitter and watch more videos and comment. Anyway, have a great one, T, and have a great one, everybody else. And like I said, if you haven't subscribed to T, you need to jump over and check her out. Got some great stuff. Anyway, bye.